Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Zelkenon, and this is another Smite patch review. So last week I didn't do one because I don't feel like I should, since last week's patch was like some adjustments to MSS and a couple other things. It was barely even a patch, yes, last Wednesday. So this patch is very different. This is the Agni remodel patch. Very, very exciting and unexpected. I was kind of expecting Bastet to get remodeled after, with all the other gods out there that need to be remodeled. If I'm perfectly fine with Agni, here he is. He looks freaking badass. Yeah, that is really, really great. Also, 4 days left for the Winter Olympian, just a reminder, and we're getting really close to this 170k price pool. I have the Ultimate God Pack, but if you do not have the Ultimate God Pack, it has a new little slider here showing you all the gods and whatnot. But I'm going to go down this patch notes list and going through some of the things, maybe skipping a few that aren't too important. So, Agni got remodeled. I'll go over here and check out the secondary skin. I already bought this, so it's kind of nice having it already, and he got remodeled. Sorry, I am still sick, so pardon me. Also, Agni's passive on when your ultis will be up, you know how it kind of has the halos around you. Well, now it's also above your portraits, and now it shows you the exact time when your next ulti will be available for you. So that is really nice. So here is the Incinerator skin for Agni, a nice, really nice blue. To that, the Volcanic, sadly enough, it's still the same exact original thing. That's a little disappointing, but the golden looks pretty fresh. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. This looks really cool because it has like white veins in between the little rocks, crevices in them. Really, really nice. Looks really good. So they updated a lot of the effects on some of the skins of different gods, such as Gravehound Anubis. And if you did not watch the patch notes stream with Hi-Res Bart, or you haven't seen anybody else use it, pretty much with the Gravehound FX, if you're familiar with the skills, his one, which is his Lotus Spray, where he shoots at Lotus, he shoots at like a bunch of little maggots. It looks really awesome and disgusting to some people, I guess. But his Mummified Wrap, like his 2, which roots you, it's a giant maggot wrapped around you. And his 3, with the grasping hands, comes out of the ground. They're maggots that come out of the ground, so it looks really nice. His basic attacks and the general colors of his effects are of this yellow, nasty, mustard-looking thing on his staff at the tip there. Next, the Thor's Blood Eagle skin gets FX changes as well. That's right here. Instead of being the original lightning color, which is I think yellow for him, it should be yellow anyway, they changed it to blue, so when he throws his hammer, it leaves a blue trail. Nothing in any I don't know, not much too different except the color change. When he does go to using his ulti, he has like the little jetpacks that kind of glow really bright blue on his back, so that looks pretty sweet. So those are the things that change with that. Some pull side and FX has been updated to provide better team coloring information, because his little kitty pull, you couldn't really tell whose who. So if you had 2 pull side ins, one on each team, you don't know whose kitty pull you're stepping in. So at least that got changed. So that is really good. Updated voice and voice command system. They added attack left tower and attack towers, etc. And if there's no more towers in that specific lane which you're doing your VGS command, it will automatically adjust it to Phoenix. So like instead of attack the left tower, it'd be attack the left Phoenix. The in arena, instead of attack the Minotaur, defend the Minotaur type of deal, they have defend the portal and attack the minions. That is really, really nice. I like that. Some artistic changes have been done to the arena escort and conquest map. From the looks of it, they just added more statues. If you look in the jungle in the Conquest map, you'll see the Minotaur and Manticore statues there. And it says something in Greek. I forgot what it said in Greek, but just little, statues of, the once was NPCs. Okay, so Assault has been revamped. So it's back to all random gods, and let's say Team 1 has a healer, has one healer, they'll automatically adjust Team 2 to have one healer. So it's balanced on healers every single time, and it is all random gods. And if you haven't already noticed, I kind of skipped this. On the bottom left here, we have the icons and our currencies. So you click on here. Everybody gets this free lightning bolt, which is neat, and you can buy these little icons for favor, 500 favor. And the very bottom ones with the retro and Hercules balls and Tusky and all that stuff, these are 100 gems. Alright, I like the retro gods and goddesses they have here. It's really neat. So you can buy that, and it will show up on your friends list, as so. As you see, the tabs have been changed, little readjustments and whatnot. So that is that. Sorry. So the FX has changed when you get gold. Nothing really special there. Scanning through the list. And targeting system, they added an additional targeting setting, which I am now using this, the highlight in bracket 2. Basically, let's say if you're a ranged character, when you kind of hover over a minion, these very huge pulsating brackets will be over the minion that you're looking at, and they will highlight red. So that is really neat. I'll show that a little bit. Some other minor bug fixes, some corrected HUD scaling. I will be putting these patch notes in the description below if you want more specific details on every single bug fix. These patches are really just bug fixes. Items, that's more important. Items, Heavenly Agility, which not too many people knew about it. It's actives, sprints. As you see, they changed the font on the left here to coordinate with the rest of the fonts in the game. So now it is fixed the issue where the duration of the provided buff was not matching the intended 6-second indicator on the tooltip. So that's fixed, I guess. Now this is where things get pretty crazy as far as items. So what are we need to go into? Physical god. Give me him. Yeah, I'll take him. Let's go. Brawler Beat Stick. So there used to be a cudgel here. That cudgel has been removed. Now it's just Brawler Beat Stick. And now the passive has been increased. Enemies hit by your basic attacks have 40% reduced healing and regeneration for 8 seconds. That is the same for the Divine Ruin. And sadly, Divine Wrath has been removed, which I'm kind of upset about, because gods that, mages specifically, that don't really rely on their abilities to apply on-hit effects, now they're in deep trouble, because like gods like Zeus, Kronos, Freya, if they wanted to kind of shut down a healer or a strong HP 5 god, they can't, because Divine Wrath allows them to, when you land an attack on them, a basic attack, then it reduces their healing and regeneration for a duration. Now they can't. Now they have to rely on Divine Ruin, which, as you can see, is enemies hit by your abilities have a 50% reduced in healing and regeneration for 8 seconds. This has been increased higher. I think it was... I think you had 2 stacks on them as 50%, but now it's 8 seconds and just one flat 40%. And as long as you keep landing abilities on a specific god or goddess, it keeps refreshing the cooldown timer. So that shuts down healing comps and just healer gods in general a lot more. And speaking of, Pestilence has gotten buffed as well. Now it's 20%. It was 15%, which, if you're familiar with the Rod of Lesbos or Lesbies or whatever this is 50%. And before this patch, the Pestilence was also 50%. So if you have Pestilence alone, that automatically shut down this item altogether as far as the aura. And now you're going to be sitting at negative 5% as your healer if you just have this. An enemy has Pestilence. Granted, this has a longer range of affecting versus the Pestilence, but hey, Pestilence now not only shuts you down of the item, it now decreases your healing by an additional 5%, which you can view it as not too much, but hey, it kind of makes your item kind of useless. As well as buffing, you know, Brawler's Beat Stick and the Divine. So let's go back to the physical. I want to kind of look at the Brawlers a little bit more. I believe they updated the stats on it as well. Looking at the list, yes, provides power and penetration now. So I think it was just power before in the passive. Now it has penetration as well. So this is now a pretty nice item when shutting down healers. So that is a thing. Next up, next up, Polynomicon got nerfed again, which I did some testing with my Quang build that always used Polynomicon. It didn't shut my damage down too much as I thought it would be. So before they reduced the within the next 5 seconds you can use your basic attacks, you get the benefits, whatever. It used to be I don't know. No, it was this effect only be applied once every so seconds. I think it was like 2 or 3 seconds. Now it got increased to 4 seconds. But with this recent patch, instead of 100% of your magical power on the additional, on your next basic attack, now it's 85% of your magical power on your next basic attack. So this shuts down getting Polynomicon early mid game. So now you kind of, you can wait for this item till more mid to late game ish. But it's up to you. It's not too bad of a nerf as some people may think it is. Especially on Quang, I still hit hard as hell on it. It's like 4 or 5 times my basic attack with Polynomicon. So that is the thing. Let's go back to another physical god. He is definitely not physical. Okay. So I have Retaliation. Some people don't even know that this item exists. But now it's much more potent and more useful. Now they added the protections aspect on it and the new passive. So right off the bat, you're getting 40 power and 15 of both protections. Now with the passive, you're getting an additional 20 power if you're over 50% HP, which most of the time you are. But when you do go under 50%, you gain an additional 20 protections. And that should apply to both physical and magical. Yes, it does. So right there, if you're over 50%, that's 60 physical power. That's the most physical power in a single item. Hydra's Laminate has 50 power on one item. This is 60. But this works really well on Kali, since she kind of relies on somewhat on her ulti to get a kill. When you reach that threshold, when you're really low, now you have more protection. So this allows you to survive a bit longer after your ulti is up and whatnot. So it is a little expensive, being 2,700, but it's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot better than what it once was, easily. Speaking of Hydra's Laminate, that has been changed around a little bit. This item right here, it no longer has the Hydra's Demise has gotten removed. I totally forgot what the item was. I knew what Hydra's Laminate was. So the rank 3 passive change. For 5 seconds after using the ability, your next basic attack will deal 50% of your total physical power as physical damage. The effect can only be applied once every 4 seconds. So basically, it's a Polynomicon for physical gods. Sorry, but it is not nearly as potent as Polynomicon. Polynomicon is much better. So, with the price of Hydras, I personally still wouldn't not get it. I mean, 2,800, almost 2,900. For not too much. The passive, really weak. The power is really nice though, and cooldown's pretty nice, but you can get Ninja Tabe or Jotun's Wrath instead, which are much better items for cooldown reduction. So, finally, for the items. Hand of the Gods got nerfed again. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Hand of Gods got nerfed again. Now it's a maximum of 3 enemy minions or jungle monsters. So anybody that got it before, and 1v1s or 3v3s as if your support class and your DPS leaves the leaves the lane for whatever reason, and you try to clear minions by yourself and you get a hand of gods and you can do it. Now you can't. Now it's 3 enemy minions. But I can see their point they're trying to make. As you see, most of the tourneys, almost everybody gets hand of the gods. Now that kind of nerfs that, I guess. So I don't know. Just don't know. I'm kind of interested to see how this works now, but that's the thing. Now, let's see. Shin size, Odyssey, and Executioner are now combined. Now, let me explain that. So, we start here with Lightblade. Okay, you buy that for 700, fairly cheap, whatever, extra 10%. From there, you can branch off towards Training Blade, which is only like 300-ish more gold after you get Lightblade. This gives you the penetration, attack speed, lifesteal. It's basically like a baby Aussie, which it branches off to that. Once you, let's say let's just go with that. You bought Aussie, and let's say you still want to get Shin Size or Executioner. Well, you can do that. Once you have Aussie, you can go back and buy Lightblade again, branch off to Balance Blade, and then you could buy Executioner or Sace. Let's say you buy Shins. Well, you still want to get Executioner, we'll buy Lightblade again and go back up the tree. As you can see here, all tier items may be purchased. So, that's the best way I can explain it without going to a match, but I will go into a match here soon. So, Shin's Blades, yeah, as you see, that did get removed. It was not too popular at all. Bracers, the item that was on the default Ares build. The item has now been removed. Why am I clicking around? I'm trying to find it. As you can see, it's no longer here. What Bracers did was increase everybody's HP 5 and MP 5 at a distance around you and gave you some HP. It wasn't too important, except for some Ares people that just went all Earl items just for the passive, but since it's not popular, that got removed. As far as moving on to God balances, more or less, AMC got nerfed. This is quite interesting because I felt like it was fine, to be honest, but I don't know. So basically what happened was this honey. Damage reduced from 20 scaling up to 60 per tick has now been reduced to 8 scaling up to 60. So early game got nerfed all the hell. Like his early game honey got nerfed. So this is to kind of shut down his lane presence and lane clearing early game, I suppose. Physical scaling reduced from 20 per tick to 15% per tick. So that is amazingly nerfed. Not quite sure why, but okay. Looking at buffs and stuff. Chronos, his stop time, which is his 3, I believe. Here it is, right there. So the slow to stop effect will no longer be applied to targets that are immune to slows at a time. So let's say if you have Winged Wand or Sprint, and like items that you're immune to slows, if this hits you while you're in that duration of that effect, you won't be stunned. So that's the thing. What's that kind of? Well, it is kind of surprising. Geb got nerfed again, guys. This is like what, week 3 of Geb getting nerfed all the hell. So increased the cooldown timer of it by a lot from 10, like a flat 10. Now it scales. Now it scales from 14 up to 10 seconds. So your late game is going to be fine than your early game. Early game is going to suck for you using your rollout. If you look at the patch notes, it does says you know, 14, 13, 12, 11, and then it says 101. 101 second cooldown. Now that's I guess they mean 10 seconds. So that's a deal with that. Decreased duration of rollout from 7 seconds to 6 seconds. Building speed 3 seconds and 3 seconds at max speed. So that got, you know, that's another nerf. Fix an issue which Geb did not ignore slows when he became CC immune at top speed. I'm glad they fixed that. And and what happens? Mercury gets buffed. Okay, I believe they nerfed it this before, but I guess they just buffed it back again. I don't know what they're doing with Mercury. Attack speed buff increased from 20% scaling up to 60%. It's now 30%, up to 70% attack speed. Why? Why, Hi-Rez? I already hated late game Mercury enough. Now I'm just going to hate him even mid game. Like, oh my god. Why? Why do this to me? Okay, so moving on, Nemesis got nerfed. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Slice and dice cooldown increased from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. I'm perfectly fine with that. Maybe because the slow on it was freaking ridiculous, being slowed all the time. Divine Judgment, which is her ulti. The movement speed buff and debuff is now 25%. It was previously scaling up to 50%, which that was ridiculous. So you're like, hey, I'm going to slow you by 50% with Slice and Dice. Oh, that ran out? Okay, cool. I'm going to slow you again by another 50%. So I'm glad that got removed. So now it's a flat 25%. Perfectly fine with that. That works really well. Next thing I'm pretty happy about, because I'm terrible at Ninja. If you're not familiar with that, I'm bad at Ninja. Basically, his little sash, basically you throw it out at an opponent and it will stun them, deal damage, and you would get moved to that target. Well, now they widen it up, so it's much easier for people to land it, especially the new people to Ninja like myself. I always have problems landing that thing, and now it's a lot wider and it's a lot easier to do that. Let's see what's next. Thanatos, Fancy Toes, oh, here you go. Hovering Death. Increase casting time from 1.2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. This is notably different. You can't notice a difference in this, so more time to kill him before he takes flight, basically. Oh, Zeus. This is kind of funny. Zeus gets nerfed again. Basically, they removed his progression. So, basic attack progression of 1 second, 1 second, half a second has been removed. Basically, what this means, as long as you keep basic attacking, your attacks gets faster and faster, and then it resets, and then it goes faster and faster, allowing for more people. Allowing for more charges quicker. So if you build attack speed on them with the hit progression, charges all day, every day. Minions, gods, goddesses, manticores, nobody is safe from that. So I'm glad that got nerfed. Really glad they got nerfed. So, going on to the jungle practice. I'm going to show off the, whoa, Batman, that is loud. I feel like they increased the volume as that as well. I guess that has got a buff as well. So, I'm going to show off the Agni Incinerator skin. I'm sure most people have Agni, or have seen his basic skin art card. So not everybody has a secondary skin. Well, I do, and this is what it looks like. Fairly similar to the original, but looks much better. And you'll also see the new the new HUD for his passive and his ulti. So right above his portrait, directly above his portrait, you see the halos. And below a little above the halos, that is, you see his actual passive. So the more basic attacks you land, it fills it up. And then your next ability will apply a damage over time. Whoever gets hit by it. Okay, so I'll roll this up. As you can see, they updated the abilities the way they look like. So let's get you know, let's go cooldown just for fun. Show off some Polynomicon power and rod and sorry, whatever. So that's what his halos look like now, and you can now do your 4-in-1 easier, much easier. Instead of being only able to do it when you're instant casting, targeting mode, now you can do it with quick casting and normal casting. I personally play on quick casting. What this means is I'm holding the 4 button right now. I press it, I'm holding it down. As soon as I release, it does the ability. So that's what quick casting is. It's hold and release. Normal casting, you click on it, you can take your finger off the button, and then you left click to apply that ability. Instant casting, you hit 2 and it automatically does it for you. So that's what that does. So let's go ahead and do the 4-in-1 combo. As you see, it does now work. And as you can see, it fills up the little rock thing for the halo, and that is the timer for the ulti. Speaking of ultis, on the top left, you can see now when people have their ultimates, it glows blue. And you can see where my next ulti will be available with the loading bars on the top left next to the crystal. It fills up, and now my ulti is available, and now everybody else knows that. Now let's do some Polynomicon action. So I'm going to throw my ulti, and now I'm going to do basic attacks. Oh yeah, sorry, this is the new targeting system. What's the direct name for it? You go over targeting, highlight. It's highlight and bracket too. It's new, so now it's much bigger, and it pulsates like I said before. If you want to see the difference between that and the regular, here we go. You know, it's just a direct smaller box, which that's what I used to use, but now I'm going to use a new one. Okay, so ultimate. Whoa, that what? I hit 4 at once, and I was holding down left button, and it did my ultis. Oh, that is cool! Look at his hands. I didn't know that. So when you have your passive available, your hands glow. That's really bright, just staring at it. So with incinerated skin, my hands glow blue, and I have this blue trail. That is freaking sweet. I like it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to cover for this video. I will put the patch notes in the description below. Hope this helps people out furthermore, and you know, inform them, I guess you should say. Thanks for watching. Sorry I don't, you know, sound so excited. I'm fairly sick still. So once again, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of this patch in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.